My parents are from Kogi State.
Okay.
I was born and brought up in Kaduna State. I actually say I'm from Kaduna because constitutionally, by birth, I'm a Kaduna person. Before you get to make money out of the movie industry in Nigeria, it takes a lot. It's not an industry you just walk in today and tomorrow you're a millionaire. No. I believe those actors have other sources of income. One thing in the industry is that it gives you a platform where you get to be famous.
Yeah.
It gives you an opportunity to get to meet lots of prominent people. And the wise ones have learned to start investing in other source of revenue, not just relying on the movie industry.
The entertainment industry.
Chairman from 2018 to 2023.
Okay.
Yes.
Duly elected.
Duly elected twice. If we take the time to understand that life is not a competition, we all run our races differently, then everywhere will be peaceful. But we tend to compete where the competition is not necessary. That's not a problem. And then women tend to talk more. I do talk, side talks. Those are the little things. But for someone like me, if you say it, if I know I didn't do it, it won't bother me. I'll dust my body and go. So in the industry, I think the only way we can help ourselves grow is to genuinely be there for each other. If your sister is doing something good, there's nothing wrong in telling her, hey, I'm proud of you. What you're doing is beautiful. Keep it up. It doesn't take anything from you. I would tell the average order to first and foremost, don't judge a person by his religion or where he's coming from. When you meet a person, treat that person as your fellow human being first. And then every other thing will fall in place. If we tend to look at the religion, we will never grow. If we look at ethnicity, we will never grow. The truth is we need each other to grow.
Glad to have you join us this beautiful day on your favorite podcast, Inside Life, with your boy, Shayin the Magnificent. Hoping you are having a great time right now. Stick to your set and you're sure to have a great time listening. You know how we do in each segment, we bring you a wealth of experience for you to draw from, and today is not an exception as we have a very special guest in the house. One time, Chairman AGN Kaduna chapter.
Actors Guild of Nigeria.
Yes, she's right here in the studio with us, and she's here to share from her wealth of experience. You are sure to have a great time. Do well also to subscribe and turn on your notification button such that as soon as we drop something, you'll be the first to know. That way you are not going to miss out. So, you're welcome to our studios.
Thank you very much for having me.
This smiling, it's quite cheering, honestly. This sit down, it's about you.
Okay.
Would like to get to know you. You know, we've seen you on TV, we've seen you in events and all that. Not much of you beyond that we know. But with this opportunity, I believe we'll get to know you more. So can you share with us from what locality you are, and who are your parents, where you grew up? It's very important. We need to know you that closely.
Okay. My name is Hajiya Salma Ibrahim. Okay. My parents are from Kogi State.
Okay.
I was born and brought up in Kaduna State.
Kaduna State.
Yes.
Wow.
So I lived.
I almost thought you were from Kaduna.
I actually say I'm from Kaduna because constitutionally, by birth, I'm a Kaduna person. So
yeah. You spend most of your life there.
Yes, I see myself as Kaduna.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And had my primary, secondary, university all in Kaduna State.
Okay.
My primary, secondary in Kaduna town. Then I went to Federal College of Education, Zaria. for my NCE program.
Okay.
After which I proceeded to ABU Zaria for my B.Ed program.
Wow. ABU Zaria, wonderful school. I know of a lot of great minds that finished from ABU.
Thank you.
There is something about ABU.
Maybe it's the name.
Okay.
But it's actually a special school to be a part of.
Okay. How would you describe your childhood?
Very interesting.
It's like it's bringing back a lot of memories.
Yeah. I would say I'm among the lucky ones.
Okay.
Grew up in Kaduna when Kaduna was still neutral.
Was still
neutral in the sense that growing up we didn't care
differences and
where you come from, what religion. We just knew each other and so
on. Would I be right to say when Kaduna was what it should be?
Yeah.
The ideal Kaduna.
Ideal Kaduna, yes.
Yeah.
Where you have friends who are Christians. You go during the Christmas season, you're all out together.
Okay.
Salah season, you're together. We didn't know any difference.
No difference.
We're so, we live as one big family growing up. You go freely to people's houses, your neighbor's house, you're walking freely. And the neighbor will treat you as their own too. There was no discrimination. So, I think growing up was very, very fun.
Very interesting.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Yes.
Any one memory that keeps coming back, just this time when this happened, I will never forget?
I won't call it a memory per se.
Okay.
But I just wish I'm still that little girl who goes out there.
Oh, you missed her?
I miss her.
Oh man.
Because I was free.
Same here.
I didn't know what it takes to be an adult. All my needs were met.
Wow.
So I had all the time in the world. Go play, have fun, come back home. And so I miss that.
Okay.
That's what I miss, yeah.
Okay.
Not a memory per se, but being that little girl growing up in that environment.
Okay.
Yeah.
How would you describe your experience in ABU?
It was one beautiful thing about ABU is you have to work for it. You have to read your books.
No cutting corners? Is that what you're trying to say? It's not the typical Nigerian...
No cutting corners for me because I know everything I worked for it. Okay. But with good lecturers who were there to direct me, they are willing to listen to whatever complaints or questions you have.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's just what it was, with a little fun, and then I got to make some beautiful friendship.
Was it from ABU that you got the idea of getting into the entertainment industry? What sparked that flair in you to want to get involved in terms of theater?
Okay, growing up, I've always had interest in television.
Television?
Generally, yeah.
Okay.
My initial dream was to be a broadcaster, a newscaster. Because as a little girl, I had people like late Tokumbo Ajayi.
Okay, your blessed memory.
Yes, Hawa Baba Ahmed. And Roots. I can't remember her name. Roots. One of them. So I always see them now. I want to be like this person.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
you've always admired them from afar.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't go through that route. I read education.
Okay.
And part of the courses in education is drama, theater and drama.
So you were still on track?
Yes.
Okay.
So after graduation, I started teaching.
Okay.
And one day I was in class teaching drama, and I was like, why can't you just go for it? You can do this. You understand?
Yes.
But my initial plan was, I'll come in as a producer. Unfortunately, when you come into this industry and you don't know the right things to do, you will crash. I actually started the production of my own.
So you didn't know the right things, the right steps to take.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know then that mentorship. I later got to know that mentorship is very important.
Wow.
So I thought it's an industry I can just walk into and just do my thing. But along the line, You know,
you
for you
figured
to
it was,
succeed,
it
you have
was
to
much
fail.
more than that.
For you to succeed, you have to fail. That's the lesson I've learned.
Yeah.
And I got to realize, when I got in, I met one or two people. Oh, these are my challenges. Oh no, you're not supposed to do it this way. This is how you're supposed to do it. And along the line, I was like, okay. So that is it.
How much have you failed? You say you have to fail before you succeed. So how very much have you failed?
In terms of being a producer, I failed once, and that was it's enough for me.
Would you want to share the experience?
Yeah, actually.
Because someone out there might just learn from it, and it will help the person not to fail.
Yeah. During my service years, also, I was in the dance and drama. In Kaduna, I served in Kaduna. Our CDS normally happened at the Ministry of Art and Culture.
Okay.
So, through that place, I got to meet some people in the Ministry of Art and Culture. We became friends. Okay. So after my service here, I was like, I have this idea. The whole concept actually was to bring out the North. Okay. Like showcasing the kind of food, the lifestyle, and stuff like that.
Okay.
And we got talking, and they were like, it's something we can do. Oh, you need to do a script writer, you need a cameraman, you need this, you need that. Okay, let's do it.
So you felt you were ready?
I thought with the people I have met, it will be very easy for my dream to pick up. Okay. So we picked up the camera, got our script, got the costume, went on set, traveling from one local government to the other, one state to the other, creating content. I didn't know that there were specifications of the kind of camera you use. You understand? If I'm going to make it a 30-minute program, while on set, I have to get as much rushes as I could. I didn't know that.
Because not everything would make it to the finished job at the end of the day.
Even when I complain, is this supposed to be like, oh, don't worry, during editing, we'll take care of it. Oh, no, don't worry, this is not. And then I kept spending money, traveling, gathering, doing interviews, doing so many things. It was actually supposed to be a very beautiful program. And then we came back. It was time for editing. They would tell me, this episode is short. It's just 10 minutes. And I would be like, how is it possible? No, let's go back. We can still go back and pick up. Oh, no, this one is 20 minutes. This one is this. Okay, we did that. We're able to get it. Going to get the market. Oh, your camera is not the standard.
It's below standards.
Your production quality is so low.
Wow.
Oh, your sound is this, your sound is that. So many things. And I was like, but along that process, I met people who now started telling me, this is what you're supposed to do. This is how it was supposed to be. But to cut the long story short, I ended up losing everything. Everything.
Nothing came out of that production.
Never saw the light of day. Wow. Another thing is that nobody told me you have to secure your right to the Copyright Commission. Today, as I'm talking to you, there's the same program with the same title going on, and it's not my program. Someone else picked the concept and registered it, and I can't lay claim to it.
Wow.
So those are the little things, the kind of challenges people should look out for when coming into the industry. Make sure you get your mentorship. Make sure you learn as much as possible, and be open to criticism.
Be open to
whether
criticism.
good or bad. It's left for you to pick what you feel will help you and drop the negative part of it.
Simple and short.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, experience, they said, is the best teacher. So you've learned, I wouldn't say the hard way.
It is the hard way. Imagine investing money, waiting to reap and get something out of it, and you're losing.
In your mind, you hammer, just like Nigerians would say.
Because they told me,
you were about to hammer.
They're taking this per episode will cost you this. So
blow, you were about to blow.
Of course, expensive. I'll be like, okay, we're still on track. But it's all for good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank God you've learned from it. Would you want to share that about that production that you are so pleased in fact, it was like you thought it was going to be very hard, and it turned out to be very easy, and probably we might still learn something from it. Which of those?
There's no production that is easy. If you want to give the best, it's not easy.
So there is no easy way out.
Yeah, but you can have fun shooting it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You can make it fun.
You can make it fun while the production is going on.
Okay. Tell me about it.
Easy.
Tell me about it.
I've had one.
Okay.
Though it's still in the process, it's not in the market.
Okay.
But because one thing with production is that not all get to see the light of day. But there was this production where I had to play a double role, like a twin.
Okay.
So I was double casted, and it was so taxing. Because
identical twin.
Yeah. 1 minute you're this loving, nice one, and then the next one you're this harsh, wicked, crazy type, and it actually messed with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Identical twins, but with different temperaments and character.
Yeah. And then you have to.
And attitude.
Sometimes you have to do it like you're here 1 minute, the next minute you're over there, and then it's easier when you're two different places.
Dual personality.
Dual personality. So it's kind of crazy, but it was fun. It was very challenging. It took like 6 weeks to shoot in the bush because it's meant to be epic. So it was crazy. I came back and my mom was like, "What happened to you?" Because of how I was looking miserable and wretched, staying in such location. But I always love it when I go like that because it brings out the best in me. Because when you're given a role to play, for me, it makes me understand myself better because there are some things I don't even know I can do.
Okay.
Until I find myself in situations like that.
It opened you up to other other skill sets that you didn't know you had.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's beautiful. Nollywood, Kanywood, what's the difference? You're from the north. That's why I'm throwing this question out. Because sometimes I wonder what really is the difference.
There's supposed to be no difference. It's supposed to be one.
Ideally.
Getting into Kanywood proved to be very difficult for me.
Okay.
You understand? Even though I grew up in the north.
Yeah.
Even though I speak Hausa.
But why is that?
When I go for auditions, they'll tell me...
It should be easier for you, I think.
For me, it isn't. Because when I go for audition, they'll be like, Hausa Kibi Naba. You understand? And it got to a point where I just stopped trying. Because...
I think you shouldn't have stopped trying.
No, because I felt like we should be given equal chances.
Okay.
Irrespective of my Hausa is good or it's not good or it's not a standardized type of Hausa. I'm someone that I learn easily. If you give me a Hausa script, I will read it. So it's not like I don't know how to read Hausa.
Okay.
But I was never given that opportunity.
Okay.
To even get to the level where I will be given the Hausa script.
Okay. Okay. You didn't.
From the audition, I'm like Hausa Tabinu Naba. Or if they want me to come in, they'll be like, okay. Maybe that it will she will speak English. You understand? And the irony is, when I go to Nollywood, they want me to speak the Hausa.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Because I'm from the north.
Okay, because you're from the north.
Automatically, they just feel, this one should be Hausa.
This one should be Hausa.
And the Nollywood is where I want to prove myself that you understand? You see my dilemma. So that's where the thing
That's a serious dilemma.
Yeah.
You were just in a fix, kind of.
I only acted one movie in Kano.
Okay.
And I was told to speak 60% English, 40% Hausa.
But you want to mention the movie?
Yeah, it's a production that was directed by John and Danusa.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. The title was The River Between.
The River Between.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Kanywood?
Yes.
Okay.
No, actually, the producer came in from Lagos.
From?
Lagos.
Yes. Okay.
So it wasn't 100%.
Oh, Kanywood. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, because the title.
Yeah, it was
from the title. It was. Yes.
It was. I think a movie was done just to encourage intertribal marriages between the north and the West.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's to bridge the gap.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was it.
Wow. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Actually, coming from the north, and then they say Hausa is not enough.
Yeah.
But don't you think there could be role for someone whose Hausa is not good enough? Because in the real society, there are people like that.
Yeah, like especially in the north. I will use Kaduna because that is where I know very well. For example, if from the north, you're from the northern part of Kaduna. Your Hausa and the Hausa of the person from the southern part of Kaduna will never be the same.
It will never be the same. Yes.
You understand?
Yes, exactly.
So I felt like there should be inclusiveness.
Yeah, there should be.
Yeah. So that's how it's supposed to be. And for me, I think I know how to. I actually do speak the Hausa, but the standard Hausa is the Kano Hausa. And we all know Kanywood is Kano.
Okay, yeah, Kano.
You understand?
Kano.
And then there's a lot of politics in the industry also.
Politics?
Yeah. So
tell me about that. Tell me about the politics in the industry.
Sometimes you have to have a godfather.
This godfather issue is everywhere.
Sometimes you need a recommendation.
Recommendation with your talent?
Yeah. Sometimes
someone will have to say
your talent is not enough.
Talent is not enough.
Sometimes talent is not enough.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
I just wish they would just give that room for everybody. You have the House Abakwe, you have the Banzabakwe.
Yes.
I just wish they would allow the House Abakwe and the Banzabakwe to have equal opportunity.
Of course.
That would be it. That's my wish.
Wow.
Yeah. And I hope someday
it will be like that.
Yes.
Oh, I hope we get there someday.
Yeah.
And I hope you get roles in Kanywood and Nollywood as well, because your English is impeccable.
I've had the opportunity to...
Your English is good.
I've had the opportunity to work with director Toka.
Okay.
There was a program on... Am I allowed to call the TV station?
Of course.
No, are you sure?
Of course.
There was a program on Star Times, Paper Boat.
Paper Boat.
Yes,
okay.
I was on that.
Okay.
There is The Takers, another production from Toka. There's one from Prince Daniel,
okay.
The Hiding Place. That one actually went on to win a film award.
Wow.
What's the name? Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've also been part of AY's production. Almajiri. I was just though I've not gotten a major
role in that. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be right to say you are an award-winning. Of course. You have that to your credit.
Thank you. I think my first this thing on telly, my first appearance was on this program Megida. On Hausa, African Magic Hausa, Megida.
Okay.
That was where I made my debut appearance.
Okay.
I acted as the wicked auntie. So I'm hoping, but the truth is, I just do movie for fun. That's just it. I think maybe that's why I've not really.
You only do movies for fun.
Actually, it's kind of just a hobby.
Okay.
Maybe that's why I've not.
You are not really keen on the economic benefits of it.
Yeah, for me, I just believe that going out there, passing a message is more important. That's as a person. Okay. So if I see a message I can pass to touch a life, to make a difference, I don't even mind doing it for free.
It's no wonder you are also an entrepreneur.
Yeah, because
you got to make that money anyhow. Anyway.
Yeah, but if you be sincere, before you get to make money out of the movie industry in Nigeria, it takes a lot.
Oh.
It's not an industry you just walk in today and tomorrow you're a millionaire, no.
But how comes we see some artists, some of the actors, if you hear the kind of cars they buy these days, the cars that they drive, the houses they have on the island in Lagos,
I believe...
How comes?
I believe those actors have other sources of income.
Yes. Okay. But we are meant to understand is because of what they do, which is acting.
One thing in the industry is that it gives you a platform.
Okay. Okay.
Where you get to be famous.
Yeah.
It gives you an opportunity to get to meet lots of prominent people.
Mm.
And the wise ones have learned to start investing
to make the
in
best
in other source of revenue, not just relying on the movie industry.
On the entertainment industry.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that is what it is.
Okay. Tell me about AGN.
AGN.
AGN, yes.
Actors Guild of Nigeria.
You were one time chairman, AGN, Kaduna chapter. So tell me about it.
Okay, I was a chairman from 2018 to 2023.
Okay.
Yes.
Duly elected.
Duly elected twice.
Twice?
Yes.
You must have done good the first time. The first time to actually deserve a second chance.
Yeah, like I said, AGN is a professional body that was created to cater for the welfare of the actors in terms of pay, feeding, accommodation where necessary, and stuff like that. But now AGN has gone a step further because of the fact that we keep having, actors coming out to beg, maybe due to one health challenge or the other. So the AGN have HMO, where the actors can just register with a little money, and anytime there's like a health challenge, it will go a long way in helping out.
Oh.
So and now AGN is also encouraging members also, to like, if you're an actor, don't just rely on your acting. Like I said earlier, it's good to always have something as
diversify.
Yes, yes.
So that you don't rely solely
on it. Yes, but as a member of the AGN also, you have so many protections. Like in terms of, I'll give an example. While I was the chairman in Kaduna, some members were involved in production, and they mistakenly went to, there was a need for the use of guns, and they went to the carpenter to carve the guns, and they
toy
were
guns.
You understand? And they were like, oh, we didn't know it. And under the law, they say ignorance is not an excuse.
It's not an excuse, yes, exactly.
And it actually took me a week to be able to
sort that out,
to sort the case out, and all that we were able to do it because they were members of AGN. We fight for our members' rights. If they were not members, I think they would have ended up 6 months in prison.
Wow.
Yeah, because that was the punishment.
Wow.
Though they stayed a week in the police cell, but at the end of the day, we were able to get them free.
That shows how important it is for one to belong to such a body.
Yes, it is. It is very important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That having been the chairman, AGN Kaduna chapter, that goes to say, because I remember earlier you made mention of lack of level playing ground for some actors.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to know this person, you have to have a godfather.
Yeah.
Don't you think that was an opportunity for you to fight or speak out for the actors concerning such?
No, unfortunately, I wasn't able to fight for it. What we did was to able to now start our own production.
Okay.
There was this production that was introduced straight to screen. By the AGN.
Okay.
And it was meant to like help bring up the members into the limelight, so that from there people will see them and know what they can do, and from there they'll get to enter, maybe other producers will get to see them and they will use them. And it's actually worked.
Okay.
Yes, because the good thing about Kaduna is that Kaduna has produced so much talent. Even some of the A-listers, Kaduna people.
Yeah.
But then it was by chance. So now what did we do is, I did during my time was collaborations. If you are a producer coming into Kaduna for a shoot, okay, I can help you get police protection. Okay. I can help you get the use of this, the use of that. Okay. In exchange, you use my members.
Okay.
So that was what I did mostly.
We are using it more like to lobby for.
Yeah, I lobby because
for slots.
Yes.
Okay.
If you're coming into, that's the most you can do for us. coming into our state to shoot.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We're not going to go on the days where people maybe they'll go meet the producer and say you have to pay us this amount.
Okay.
But during my own time, I made it like, okay, what are the things you need while you're in Kaduna? I can help you get A, B, and C.
Okay.
In exchange,
okay.
I'm giving you some of my members. And you have to feature them, even if it's just to like waka pass.
Waka pass, as
yeah, at least
usually said.
Yes, as they say, it's something. So that was what I did.
Okay.
Yes, but presently we have the administration in place in Kaduna, and they're also like building on that.
Okay.
Yes, and creating trainings, workshops, and opportunities for the artists in Kaduna to showcase.
Okay.
Yes, I learned they were about to open a YouTube channel, which will go a long way. Yeah, in creating that exposure that we're looking for.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. And in what ways or areas do you think government can come in to help in this situation, in terms of providing opportunities for young talents?
Okay, there are so many ways. One of which is like collaborating with the body, like the AGN.
Okay.
If you they can come into collaborations where they organize programs and talents. There will be exhibitions of talents, and from there they are given opportunities or creating of the, like I remember during my time there was a time El-Rufai was the governor, and there was talk of having a film village. Okay. These are things that help promote the entertainment industry, because when you create a space for them to come freely without spending, and then they get to produce like content and other things, it will go a long way in boosting them.
Exactly.
Yes, because it has saved them a lot of, like you have the equipment there, they will come use it for free. It's a plus. Because sometimes they may have the talent, but they don't have the money to get what they will need to create the talent. When the government comes in partnership to give things like that, you have a place where they go. They get to use this product. At the end of this equipment, at the end of the day, they pay a little tax back to the government. It's a plus. Win-win for everybody.
Definitely.
So those are the kind of things. Or you can also go further to sponsor. Like in Kaduna, we have so many lovely stories. You can come up with scripts to promote Kaduna. Kaduna has a lot of tourist centers. I'm using Kaduna because, like I said, Kaduna is like
it's your main base.
So these are the kind of things the government can do together with the body. Yes, and it will be a win-win, because if you promote the tourist attractions, tourists are coming in, the government is making revenue from it.
Exactly.
And the actors are also doing their thing, and they are making their living.
The economy in some way is affected.
Yes, and it will boost the economy.
Exactly.
Because outside, I think the oil, entertainment is the second highest revenue generating industry that we have in Nigeria.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. It's quite interesting to hear that.
So it's an industry that needs close, serious support from the government. Not just because we want to gain from it, but because we know that both the industry and the country will come together and to help boost our GDP.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. You made mention of game film village. An idea was being nursed during the era of Nasir El-Rufai, the former governor of Kaduna State. What then happened?
I honestly did not follow up after my tenure, but I know
it died with
I know it was
your
still
tenure.
there, but the force, the zeal with which it was conceived, I think that enthusiasm was not really, somehow along the line. You know, the thing with the North is, I'm sorry, I have to be blunt. Sometimes people look at it from the religious aspect. Sometimes some people don't see the entertainment industry, especially acting, as something to be encouraged.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
So those are some of the challenges, because they look at people in the entertainment industry are wayward, They looked at them as people that don't have ambition. Unfortunately, that's not the story. Yeah. But because tradition, belief, and everything has come to play. But so there was a lot of...
At the same time, it is still the job of people like you to change such narrative.
I wish, it is, but you need to have the tools.
You need to have the platform
to be able to do that.
Exactly.
I should be ready to face whatever
comes with
it.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Whoa.
Because it takes something very great for you to be able to change a person's mindset.
But don't you think when you channel your energy towards creating more of positive content, it might naturally change the perception?
Yes, it is. It will.
Okay.
And I think both the Nollywood and the Kanywood are really doing that, because this thing like goes on like a screening.
Okay.
Where you make sure that if you can't vote for 100% of your members, you'll be able to vote for 90% of them that they are not of any shady character. You understand? And when people are coming, you tend to like screen. So those are the measures we're trying to are being put in place to change the narrative about how actors are
being perceived,
or artists. Are seen. So as much as possible, you have the work ethics. You try to encourage them to follow, and you make them realize that you're a role model. People are looking up to you, so you should be able to project something positive.
Exactly.
And I think it's really yielding results.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk to me about radio.
Radio.
I know you're almost an all-rounder, so.
Yeah, radio is okay. I told you I came into acting just for fun. Radio, I do for money.
Oh, radio is the thing. And we've been talking acting all the while.
Yeah, it's also
radio
acting.
Is the thing.
It's also acting.
Yes, it is. Yeah. It is. But because you paint pictures in people's minds using your words.
And then
I have a touch of that too.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's actually.
I was there too.
I think.
I was there.
All the things I came into radio through the acting.
Okay.
Someone saw me. I was like, I have a radio drama. Can you come? And I was like, how am I going to do it? I didn't even know effects were used. I was like, how do they do it? It was like, okay, just come to the studio. And I went and I saw and I fell in love with it. And I decided to build on that by like, we then sat down with some friends. I was like, you can do this. You can get jingles. You can do this. You can do that. And from there, we picked it up. I started doing it. Got jingles. Okay. So I do radio drama for corporate bodies.
Okay.
Individuals, states. Anyway, it comes.
Wow.
Yes, and mostly, one beautiful thing about radio drama is that we're always hitting on topics.
Okay.
Trending topics, like any issue that is, we need to create awareness. So that's what we do.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And you still do that up to?
Yes, I do.
That's beautiful.
I still do.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, actually, how are you able to combine all these with family and personal?
I'm lucky to have kids that are understanding. I actually started with my kids at a certain age, where they know that I can go and come back and they'll be fine. So it's all about creating time, managing your time,
management,
allocating time for each part of your life.
Being organized.
Yeah, and a lot of sacrifices also, because your children will have to make your family will have to make the sacrifices sometimes. You might go and say, I'll be back by so time, and maybe not make it back at that time. So they have to understand with you. So, and then you also, like I said, time management.
Yeah.
If Monday is for A, that's how I do it. Tuesday should be for B. Wednesday for B, maybe for rest. Yeah, because you need to create time for yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's how I've been able to do it.
Okay.
By managing my time and weighing my options.
Okay.
Yeah, I prioritize. If A is not a priority and B is more of a priority at a particular time, I'll drop A and pick B. irrespective of maybe if it's the day I schedule for it.
Okay.
Okay. That's how I do.
Okay.
That's how I'll be able to manage.
Okay. Haven't been the chairman AGN Kaduna chapter in the past. If you are opportune to, let's say, the present chairman sought for your advice on how to grow the industry, what would you say?
I will willingly give it.
Would you mind sharing?
Yeah.
What your advice would be? What you think would help? Yes.
Okay, one thing that has always been a problem is continuity. When a new administration comes in, they will find some ways to want to
drop other projects.
Yeah, either discredit the past person or drop the project and want to start their own.
New ones.
Maybe they feel like if I work on this, I won't take the credit. But unfortunately, that's not the thing. So my advice will be, okay, look at where did this administration stop? What was their strengths?
Yes.
Build on it. What was their weaknesses? See how you can improve it or do away with it.
Totally.
Yes,
exactly.
And along the line, you think of your own innovations you feel you can bring into the administration to make it better. No government wants to go and see that all that they labored for is in vain.
Exactly.
You understand?
Exactly.
So I just wish that there will be that continuity on building on what was met.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think is the secret of self-development in this industry? Self-development, is it? Don't you think it's beyond just having a mentor? Don't you think it's beyond just going to school to study art and culture or just relevant field?
No,
how do you develop yourself personally?
The first thing is you have to have a passion for it.
Passion.
Yes. You have to have a passion. You have to love it with everything in you. And then you should be able to grow. To teach yourself, to learn, unlearn, and relearn every day that you're in the industry. That's it. And then
learning is key.
Yeah. Self-discipline.
And that goes to say you have to be open for criticism.
Yeah, that's like I think I said that before.
Yes, you made mention on.
And drop the negative one. Sometimes criticism help you to become stronger, and it helps you to succeed. If only you can learn to look at it critically and pick what you need. Yeah. So that is it. Be disciplined, be passionate, be ready to learn. And then that's it for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you would pick a director or a producer to work with in Nigeria, let's start from Nigeria.
Okay.
In Nigeria, who would that be? As in, you would, in fact, it would make your whole career what you would love it to be. Who would that be, and why?
A director, I'll still pick Toka Magbaro.
Okay.
Yes.
Why?
I've worked with him before.
Okay.
And I've seen the way he works. And I've learned a lot from him. Yes. In terms of script delivery, in terms of patience. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah. Because when you're working with a director, some of them can scream, they will shout. I haven't had the experience personally because I was lucky to always be able to give what is expected of me. As long as you instruct me, I'll give you what you want.
Okay.
But I've
you
seen
were
that
easy to work with, sort of.
Somehow, yeah, I think. But I've seen where other people will just frustrate the director and you have to go scream. Toka Magbaro is somebody that will make you bring out the best in you. So that was what I learned working with him. And he will make you realize why it has to be this way. So maybe I will pick him again because I've not really worked with much. Like I said, I've worked with Ndanusa. He was also a very good director. Yes. That one, I don't know if he's still... Yeah. But he was also a very good director. He doesn't need to shout, but he'll calm you down and tell you this is why you have to be this and this and this and this. You understand? So that is it.
Who are your top actors in Nigeria? But Nollywood, Kanywood.
Okay, Nollywood. Let me do Auntie Joke Silva. I'm Joke Silva. Who else? Let me do Kanywood. Kanywood. Let Gidado. Sarah to Gidado.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Mercy Johnson.
Mercy Johnson.
Yeah.
I knew you must have more than 2 females.
Why? You think I'm feminist?
Not really, but there is this thing about just being
women supporting women. It's very important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have to support.
Maybe we should talk about that as well.
Okay. What do you want to know?
How do you think women should support each other in the industry?
Okay. It's very simple. There's a lot of dragging. We tend to drag ourselves too much.
Because I'm asking this because I've heard some people have alleged that there is this operation that happens against the female gender in terms of, yes, fighting for roles and stuff. Some would say they were abused, some would say they were harassed.
Anyway, the truth is, when you look at the population of the female to the male, the females are higher in number.
Yeah.
So definitely the available slots is limited, and there will be lots of competition there. You understand?
Yeah.
Compared to the male folk. And then, women are naturally, we have this thing of, I won't say, we have ego. You understand? You walk into a place, you don't even know someone is looking at you, and she might just pick offense like she's showing off. So in the industry, I just encourage us to do
somehow of the belief that women don't like women. Some people believe that. I don't, though. I don't.
We do like ourselves.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
It's just a matter of understanding.
Okay.
Yeah. If we take the time to understand that life is not a competition, we all run our races differently, then everywhere will be peaceful. But we tend to compete where the competition is not necessary. That's just a problem. And then women tend to talk more. I do talk, side talks. Those are the little things. But for someone like me, if you say it, if I know I didn't do it, it won't bother me. I will just my body and go. So in the industry, I think the only way we can help ourselves grow is to genuinely be there for each other. If your sister is doing something good, there's nothing wrong in telling her, hey, I'm proud of you. What you're doing is beautiful. Keep it up. It doesn't take anything from you. And it won't take anything from you. So all we need is just that support. Be there for one another. Be happy genuinely for each other. And encourage each other when necessary. If you see your sister going wrong or committing a mistake, and you know this is not the right thing, there's nothing wrong. Just walk up to her and say, hey, I feel you should do it this way. It will be better. That's all. What's the thing for you will come for you anyway. So,
among the things that stands you out is fashion. Tell me about Beauty Bar.
Beauty Bar.
Yes.
Salma Beauty Bar is like the name implies. It's a place where you come to beautify yourself. It's all about encouraging the woman to look her best at every time. You don't have to break the bank. With your little money, you can come to Salma Beauty Bar and you will give you the best of services. I actually
That's good.
I've always had the dream of that, and I'm glad that
it has finally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why Beauty Bar? I'm just being curious about the name itself.
Beauty Bar. The bar doesn't necessarily have to be where you go to take.
I know.
So we just decided to change the
just to make people salon, think first.
Yeah.
Beauty
curious.
Bar. Okay.
Bar. Because my girls went out and they were like, a woman was actually, I thought you people sell beer. It's just to create that
is
curiosity.
Creative. That is quite creative.
Yeah, to be like, okay, what is the bar? What are they doing in the bar? So it's more like a bar actually, because it's a place you come relax. We offer you tea.
You gist.
Yeah, we just, well, our kind of gist is the constructive type of, we encourage the constructive type of gist.
Not the women normal.
No,
gist.
like you see, we make it feel like you're home.
Okay.
While we offer you the services.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What else are you venturing into?
I do fabrics.
Okay.
It's all in the fashion line. We do fabrics.
You're a fashion person.
Do bags. We do a little bit of cosmetic. Like we give advices.
Okay.
On tips on cosmetics, like.
Okay.
Yeah. So little things here and there.
Okay. Which is your favorite or best favorite movie? Let me put it that way. I would still want to limit it to Nigeria.
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 Recent or old?
Anyway.
I can't remember the title.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have it in mind,
beautiful romantic movie.
Okay. You are more into the romantic
comedy.
Kind of.
I'm into it.
Comedy.
There's a lot of
Laughter.
stress in life already for me to go.
Yes.
So I don't do blockbuster.
Okay. You are more of the let's just relax.
Yeah, I feel anytime I'm watching
on the lighter.
Movie, if I say movie, it should be something that will make me relax and unwind, make me laugh, and make me learn also.
Okay, at the same time.
Yes.
Even
though it might be maybe romance or comedy,
it
should be able to teach me something that will make me like improve on my life.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's very beautiful. Anyway, we have spent a lot of time already. In conclusion, what would you say to that person that is aspiring to come into the entertainment industry, be it from the music angle, from the film angle, and also broadcasting, as in radio, television? What would you say to such a person?
Well, if you have the intentions of coming into industry, I would advise, first and foremost, you know what you are looking for. You should have a focus.
One would tell you that I admire people that talk on radio, so I want to talk on radio.
Don't just admire, I want to talk. Will you love it? Is this something? Okay, as you're coming in, what is your goal of coming in? Is it just to make money, or to make a difference, or to make a name for yourself? You have to decide.
You have to define
what you want for yourself first. And then know that it's not a place where magic happens. Magic doesn't happen. You have to work hard. So be ready to work hard. You have to be very patient. You have to persevere for you to make it in the industry. And it's a place where you have to make lots of sacrifices. So if you're coming into it, like I will always say, have your backup plan. And then we're working on this. If it succeeds, fine. If it doesn't, you know the world doesn't end there. You can still move on with other things in life. So it's a place like you don't test the waters with your 2 feet. I would advise you do with 1 foot to know how deep and the depth. Then you can now come in completely. I've seen people who don't want to do anything, especially the younger ones.
You say it's music I'm doing.
Music. Okay, no, you have the talent, fine. But what happens
go to
between
school,
now and the time you make the breakthrough? You understand?
Yes.
So you need to go to school, have your certificate, have another skill outside of this one, so that if it works out, you combine. If it doesn't, you have something else to fall back on.
You have something to fall back.
And then another thing is that some people see it. Some criminals, I'm sorry to say, see it as an opportunity to come, maybe use it as a camouflage. It's no longer like that. If you're caught, you're on your own. Because even though the associations will fight for you, they only fight for you when your hands are clean. So my advice is, it's not a bed of roses. It's not a bed of roses. It's not a street that is lined with milk and honey. It takes a lot of sweat.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot of sacrifice.
Okay.
So if you're coming into the industry, be ready to do all that.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, I said in conclusion, now I would say, which word would I use again? Finally. Finally. I'm bringing this up now because of what you made mention when we started.
Okay.
Yes. You made mention of the good old days where in the north they are wearing things like differences. Yes. It even if there was, it wasn't this amplified. So what would you say? Speak to that. What would you say to an average northerner?
I would tell the average northerner to first and foremost, don't judge a person by his religion or where he's coming from. When you meet a person, treat that person as your fellow human being first. And then every other thing will fall in place.
Beautiful.
Because if we tend to look at the religion, we will never grow. If we look at ethnicity, we will never grow. Because we need each other.
Maybe that's where we are. That's why we are where we are.
The truth is we need each other to grow. Nobody has it all. So, if you see a person, what I do, if you see a person, look at that person. This is a human being like me. What does this person have to offer? And how can myself and this person combine our resources or what we have to move forward? Your religion, to me, is a personal thing.
Exactly.
Who are we to judge?
Very true.
We were one not to judge. God is the only person that can judge us. So why should you go commit a sin by trying to be perfect when nobody is? Why would you want to commit a sin by trying to judge somebody when by doing that already you're committing a sin? So whatever we do, let's drop our differences in terms of religion, ethnicity. Let's come together as humans. Because until we see this person as we see ourselves, we can never relate genuinely with each other.
Wow.
Yes.
This is a very good place for us to to call it a day on today's edition of your favorite podcast, Inside Life, with your boy Shane the Magnificent. Of course, it's been wonderful having you here in the studio, Ma.
Thank you so much.
And we look forward to having you some other time as well.
I can't wait.
Thank you.
It's been a lovely time with you. Thank you so much.
And bye.